Huh. Now I heard it through the grapevine. Okay. A little birdie told me. Okay. God said, you really want to go to hell. God said, you're going to hell. Maybe I don't understand this, but why would you want to go to hell? Why do you want to go to hell? Why do you even entertain the idea of going to hell? I mean, do you got screw loose or something? Is there something like maybe disconnected from your upper and your lower? You know, like the brain isn't thinking, and you know you kind of disengaged your thought process. I mean, maybe you want to go. Or maybe you just don't know, and you just really don't get a whole handle on what's going to happen. Quite frankly, I'm not going to tell you about it. Because you know what? Personally, hey, between you and I, if you really want to go to hell, go to hell. See if I care. I mean, hey, God's already demonstrated He cares. He died for you. He gave His Son for you. He gave you a Bible. I mean, for God's sakes, what more do you want? Open up the skies and show you that He's real? Well, that's going to happen. You want Him to, like, you know, kind of come down from earth or come down from heaven and meet you on earth? Well, that can happen. Some people it does happen to. Ooh. Fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living God. Be careful what you pray for, you might get it. Ooh. But you know, God's already done everything He's going to do. Well, except there are a few other things that He's getting ready to do, like, you know, the end of the world and stuff like that, which is going to happen pretty soon. Whew. Wouldn't want to be around to see that one. But, hey, you know, it's all out there. Google it. Okay, so if you already know where you want to go, then go there. If you don't know, that's different, you know. Then I can understand you kind of like, you know, trying to, you know, negotiate here now. You know, let's be real between you and I. Come on now. You're trying to figure out just how much you can get away with, aren't you? You're trying to figure out what this sin thing is that you can still get your cake and eat it too, and kind of go along with the gravy so that you can get the grace. You know, kind of like smother your life with this grace, so that way, you know, nobody can look underneath and see that, hey, maybe there's some veggies slipped inside those mashed potatoes, you know, and you got gravy covering it all. But you get indigestion once in a while eating that stuff, don't you? You know, the mashed potatoes weren't real, they were instant. Ugh. And suddenly, man, something don't feel so good inside. Well, you know, I don't know what to tell you. This thing about salvation is kind of funny, you know. It's kind of like, you know, if it was just about religion, hey, pick and choose and do what you do, because guess what? You can't lose. You get to choose. But I don't think so, you know. I think this heaven and hell thing is kind of real, and judging by someone who's been there, Jesus, I think He knows what He's talking about. Now, me personally, you know, I'm with you. Hey, if I could get away with it, I'd go do it, you know. You know, the sin thing, you know, it's kind of fun, you know. Ooh. Shh, don't tell anybody, but sin feels good. Sin is kind of fun. Sin is enjoyable. Matter of fact, it's kind of like, ooh, got away with it this time. And sure enough, you feel like you got away with it. Oh, except that God thing keeps saying, you reap what you sow. Oh, you mean I gotta pay for it? Well, yeah. So it's kind of like, you get what you pay for, You did it, so you got it, so you get to go where you paid for what you did when you did it, because you know you're guilty. You see, the whole thing about this heaven and hell thing about God's not there. Well, God's only going to judge you by you. He ain't going to judge you by, perfection like they try to make you sound out. He's going to judge you according to your own standard. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, then I should be doing pretty good. Really? You ever looked in the mirror lately? I have. Matter of fact, today I'm going to shave because I'm looking a little scuzzy. I'm looking a little gruffy, and quite frankly, I don't think that, I look much like a Christian today. Okay, maybe I look like one, but I sure don't feel like one sometimes. So I get all cleaned up, I need to clean up my act, once in a while anyways, to remember that, hey, this isn't, the way I normally look, but sometimes I just kind of get lazy, and I don't really pay attention to the way I appear. And maybe you didn't either. You didn't pay attention to the way that you're going to live your life so that you can appear before God and give an accounting for your life. That sounds a little weird. Well, you see, if you think this is the only life you're going to live, then you go out and party hardy, dude, because guess what? That's all you're going to get, because you're going to suffer in eternity, because you got to pay for what you got. You see, this thing called life, you're going to have to pay for it. At least somebody's going to have to. God made it, so He wants something back for it. Oh, you thought that it was just, like the old boom, 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 kind of, somebody got knocked up and you were born? You really think life's an accident? Wow. You are messed up, aren't you? Good luck with that one. Let me know how that works out for you. By the way, can I sell you some insurance? You're in trouble. But if you really don't want to go there, you don't have to. But you want to go, I'm all for you. I'm all pushing you. I'm all telling you, get there. Go get it good. Because God's going to put you there where you deserve to be. And you'll know it because you'll say to the glory of God the Father, Jesus Christ is Lord. You're going to bend the knee, and you're going to say that, and you're going to kind of go for a quick dunk in the lake of fire, and drown in that torment of your own sorrow and making. Because you see, that's kind of what it's all about. What you did. You did it, dude. It's your story. Man, it's your life. You're writing the book of life, of who you are. Right now. Yeah, you're living it. You're doing it. It's your gospel. The gospel according to you. And guess what? That's what you do. And your gospel may get you right into the lake of fire, stupid. Because you see, nobody's going to tell you after you've done it how stupid you were. No, because they're just going to laugh at you and go, sucker, you fell for it, didn't you? Yeah, hook, line, and sinker. You took the line, and you went right on time down to where you shouldn't have been because God didn't want you to end your life that way. But rather end something better for you. Oh, I'm not talking about, hey, don't tell those Christians this, I told you this, but some churches are pretty cool. Some churches aren't. Churches aren't in heaven because guess what? God walks in the midst of them. He's kind of like, dealing his own thing. Like, he tells them what's wrong with them, and he tells them what's right with them, and some of them are pretty messed up, just like So it's not all about this church thing, but it is about this kind of like, you got to do something about your heaven thing, because otherwise, that thing that you got, that thing is going to get you put right where it belongs, and that thing is going to get you right into hell, just like it will. Because you already know the truth. And be honest, come on. Nah, we're talking, you and I. You know, you've heard, you've seen, all the revivals and stories, all the Bibles and books, and, you're just trying to, get a little action on the side, them Christian women, they're kind of fun, them Christian men, they're kind of like, wow, different, but you could be one of those Christian man or woman. You could be, kind of, maybe a little different, but maybe right on as far as heaven's concerned. Maybe right on as far as God's concerned. Maybe you don't really want to go to hell as much as you think you do. Maybe you've already figured out that, though that sin felt good, man, the consequences were a mother, or a father, or a sister, or a brother. They really cost you something, and they're really kind of tearing you up inside because that indigestion turned into cancer and it about killed you. Thank God you went for chemo, Well, in life, you're going to have to pay the consequences. Somebody's got to pay the piper. You know it, dude. Ain't nothing free, They tell you that the salvation message is free and the gospel's free. No, it's not. You got to do something about it. You got to give up something, You got to pay for it. You're going to pay. Yeah, you will. You get saved, you're going to pay with your life. You're going to pay with your will. You're going to have to give up your life to get God's life in you. Because that's what you're doing. You're kind of doing one of those, let's make a deal. Not a dope deal, because you already know what you're going to get there. Because somebody might lace it and kill you. But let's make a deal, God says. Hey, I'm the big cheese. You ain't no cheese. But you want to be in my house. You got to do it my way. I got rules. I got regulations, You're going to come to the big house. You're going to deal with it the way I say to do with it. Otherwise, you might as well get out of the house because you're going to hell. So come to my house. It's not as bad as you think. Matter of fact, check it out. Some of these guys that are in my house, they got some pretty good privileges going on. They got some things, happening that, they kind of enjoy it, They kind of like it. So check it out, you try it. Try it. You'll like it. Maybe talk to one of my other, friends over here, Maybe he'll tell you what to do. Yup, dude. Check it out, man. It's cool. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can. You can. You can do it. You can do it. You can. You can. Oh, you don't like that kind of guy. Well, what can I say? You gotta do it. You gotta figure it out. It's gonna happen. You can postpone it. You can put it off. You can put it away. You can stick your head in the sand and say, no, I'm not gonna get saved. And then you can go, yes, I'm going to hell. And yes, I will be judged by my own standards. So I guess I get what I paid for. And unfortunately, maybe God was love. Maybe he did love me. But you know what? I went to hell anyways. And if I'd have known now, if I'd have known then what I know now, oh my God, I would have taken the opportunity to get saved.